think I'm live now. Good morning. I bring you greetings today from the patio, your church on the patio. Woohoo! Funnest thing ever. Anyway, I'm supposed to tell you that the angel upon my mountain says, welcome. Welcome. Anybody that's watching is being recorded in heaven, and there's blessings coming to you. I want to talk to you today about something interesting. It's the 11th commandment. Yes, we all know about the 10 commandments, all the stuff we're not supposed to be doing. But Yeshua, when he came, he was very strategic, and he was constantly introducing a new thought, a new way of thinking about how you're living. And he says in John 13:34, he says, so I give you now a new commandment. Hello, big deal. You're to love each other just as much as I have loved you. Well, what kind of love is that? Whoa, he really made all the Jewish leaders at that time very angry, because they were all about the law, the 10 commandments. Everybody knew about the 10 commandments. And here comes Yeshua saying, I give you a new commandment. What? You're changing the 10 commandments? We only have to do just one? It's a lot easier. Well, that's to love in a sacrificial way. It's really hard. Several years ago, when our daughters were not living for the Lord, they were away from him and in very bad relationships, I started thinking about, the teachings of the rapture of the church, and I told the Lord, I don't mean to be disrespectful to you, but could I get permission to just stay behind? How can the girls or people I love, if we're gone, find God, if they're having a hard time living for God now? I think I could help them. I think I could help people if you just leave me behind and let me die as a martyr, And so Yeshua said, so you're telling me that you're willing to lay down your life for people that love you, people that you love? And I said, the way he asked it, I was like, well, I said, yes, I want to stay behind. And he said, okay. Well, I thought, well, that was pretty easy. Well, just like Peter, shooting his mouth off before he really knew what living for Christ was. He denied Christ 3 times, but then he was reinstated. Well, that took me on a path of about a 5-year journey of being very persecuted, misunderstood, not liked, just with my family and my children. It was a hard journey. But at the end of about 5 years, the Lord said, I had really no relationship with my daughters. They didn't like me. They didn't want to be around me. He said, so I'm going to ask you that question again. Now, would you still lay down your life? Would you stay behind for your children, with people that you love that are not walking with God, so you could be there for them after, the rapture of the church, when all hell breaks loose, all evil, Antichrist takes over, it's going to be bad. So 5 years after a lot of persecution, not really having a relationship with the girls, I said, yes, I still feel the same way. I still feel the same way. I still love them enough to where I would lay down my life for them. So, I just think God is asking the question, not so much what do you live for, but who would you die for? What do you believe in enough to die for? It's easy to say, but you have to really think about it. And, God wants us to walk with this kind of love. Well, it wasn't before long, God brought both the girls, into a walk with the Lord. They were totally sold out now. So God answered my prayer, by getting hold of my daughters, and bringing them into alignment with Yeshua. And I started thinking about this story I heard a long time ago. You can watch it on YouTube. It's real interesting. And it's a story of Tony Campola. and he's a sociologist, and he was vacationing, and I think he was in Hawaii or something. He couldn't sleep, so he went to this diner at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was no one there, but it was a greasy, dirty little bar, and that's where all the prostitutes went, after work. So he was in this restaurant with all these prostitutes. He's a Christian leader, he was going, wow, thanks God for leading me to this restaurant. And he heard this one girl ask the waiter, she says, it's my birthday tomorrow, and no one's ever celebrated my birthday. No one's ever I've never had a birthday party. No one even cares that I was born. She was a prostitute, just thrown away by society. Well, after all the prostitutes left, he went up to the owner of the restaurant, who he had heard this from, and he said, what would you say if I wanted to give her, he called her Agnes, if I want to give Agnes a birthday party tomorrow, do all these girls come here, after work at 3:30? He goes, yeah, faithfully, they come. This is their hangout spot. And he goes, I want to give her a birthday party. I'm going to buy a cake. I'm going to decorate the place. He goes, no. The restaurant owner goes, I'm going to do her cake. This is a great idea. This is awesome. Me and my wife were on board. We want to do this. They were not Christian, and so the next day, all these prostitutes had gotten there early because the wife had put the word out, be there early, we're going to give her a surprise birthday. So here comes Agnes walking in after work as a prostitute, and everybody said, surprise, happy birthday. They had a cake, ribbons, and she fell to her knees. She was so shocked, and then he presented the birthday cake, Tony, and she just stared at it. She goes, can I take this birthday cake and show my mom? She goes, we just live 2 doors down, and I want to show my mom someone cares that I was born, and so she took it, and everybody's like, what do we do? Well, they were still celebrating her birthday and everything. It is such a beautiful story, and the owner of the restaurant said, who are you, to Tony Campolo? He goes, I'm just a sociologist. He goes, no, sir. You are a preacher. You are a pastor. Because if you had a church and that's the way you do church, I would come to your church. Well, hello. The world is watching how we do church. It's not about going to a building. It's not about, having a place to go. It's about being the church, being what God wants you to do in your everyday life. There is such a great awakening in the marketplace. There's a lot of business and professional people that are really shaking up the world right now. They're high-level professionals, and they meet and they talk about God, and God is very alive in the marketplace, I tell you. So I just, want to let you think about that today. What exactly would you die for? We all know what we'd live for, but what would you actually die for? What do you believe in enough? How much do you love the people you love? Would you really lay down your life for them? We don't know persecution like they do in other countries. I've got people following me from all over the world now, and they're messaging me. And let me tell you, we have a missionary staying with us right now from another country. And I'll tell you, we're very blessed to live in America. We have freedom to do this on YouTube. We have freedom to talk about the Lord. And so we need to just start today with being very thankful that, where we live, and, that we can impact people in countries where maybe you can't get into as a missionary, but you can get through maybe this way, or even just going to the grocery store, or, just, it's not about a building. It's about being. It's not about, going a place. It's about being the church. So anyway, I wanted to bless you with that today and say thank you for coming to my mountain, my patio, the place where I want you to feel loved and accepted, and cleansed and challenged to live a new way. So anyway, it is the Lord's Day. Every day is the Lord's Day to me, but really it is. And so be blessed. I love you very much, and thanks for listening to me.